All right, people, we are back. Couldn't be here yesterday, so today we will be talking about what's going to happen on day 3 of the second test match that is being played between England and Australia. I got to say, Jono, I think you talked England up way too much. I know yesterday England fought back a bit, fought back valiantly, but before the series started, I thought it's going to be really tough to beat England. But right now, it seems like England is on the back foot. And I'm going to start with Ben Stokes. I told you that was almost arrogance, like day 1, 393 declared. Come on. I've never seen any supporters of any cricket team who say, oh, we'll watch cricket because whether we win or lose, we just want to watch exciting cricket. I know people say that when they're winning test matches, then they say that, oh, yeah, we want to watch exciting cricket. But nobody says that, oh, I'm okay to lose a game just for the sake of it being exciting. So there's a lot of talking up by the English camp. Okay, thanks to Ben Duckett, fought back. Now, Ben Stokes, he's not playing the Bazball. What's going on? His strike rate is what, 30, 40? I don't know, like I fell asleep towards the end. But anyway, give us a rundown. So how are you feeling as an English supporter? Do you think that you guys talked your team up a bit too much?
No, I don't think so. I think what we're seeing at the moment is two very evenly matched teams. Australia are probably the stronger team, but England's, they've come with this new mentality, more of an attacking mentality that is about enjoyment. And it's produced results for them so far. The first test could have gone either way at the end there. This test, equally, end of the second day, still very much in the balance, could go either way. On your point about Stokes there and his low strike rate yesterday evening, I don't know who it was, but I saw someone on Twitter make the point that Ben Stokes is like that mate who drags you all out for a night out, gets you all on the Jaeger bombs, but he's secretly drinking water himself.
I felt like someone like Joe Root, who's such a classy player, if he wasn't carrying this burden of, oh, we've got to play this Bazball, we've got to play this overly exciting or aggressive brand of cricket, he could steady the ship. He could go, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Let me have a strike rate of 50, which is respectable in Test cricket. But no, hang on. This approach of 80 and above, come on. You got to give some respect to the red ball. You got to give respect to your position. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But the point that I was making, okay, fair enough. On paper, Australia is just as strong as any other team. Australia is number 1. They just beat India. But England were flying high. They were thinking that, okay, we're playing in English conditions. This is our home. So we should be able to beat them. Like, I don't know. You tell me. What were the odds being given by betting companies in England? Were they talking England up? Were the odds even? I doubt it. I think they were putting England as hot favourites.
I don't actually know what the best thing was saying this time around. I don't think you should be too annoyed by all of this. If this was played on neutral grounds, Australia favourite every day of the week in terms of if you compare the teams and the relative strength of those teams. Just because England's at home, England gets something back that goes in their favour. But yeah, these are two evenly matched teams that are going at it at the moment, blow for blow. And like yesterday was a brilliant day's Test cricket, absolutely brilliant. And we actually saw, I think, for the first time, England bowling well to Australia in the morning. We still let Smith get his hundreds, but people seem to be bowling with a bit more of a plan.
Last 5 wickets fell for just 100 runs. Yeah, you're right. Australia could have ended up with 500.
Especially with Smith in such good form at the crease on 80 odds, and Alex Carey's been in good nick as well. Yeah, they should have been posting at least 450, 500s on that pitch. So it was England won that battle, reining them into just the 100 runs, extended the lead up from the overnight score.
Fair enough. You could actually argue that, okay, they made a good comeback, but overcast condition, first day, the ball actually was moving around. The balls that got Khawaja and Warner out, they were absolute peaches. I don't think anyone could have played those. But having said that, as a bowling team, your goal is to get the opposition out in the first inning as low as possible. As a batting team, your target is, okay, I'm not going to play aggressive brand of cricket and I'm going to make the game of cricket exciting. Your goal is to make as many runs as possible. So just putting that thing in mind, Don't you think that even English bowling was below par, especially on the first day?
On the first day, definitely. England had a bad day on the first day. The thing that sticks out to me was that Ollie Pope drop when David Warner was on 20. And that was an easy catch. That's a regulation third slip catch. And that really summed up the day for me. There weren't too many other chances. I think there was another, might have been another. Oh, there was that one that went through the Joe route on the half volley.
Yeah, that fell short. No.
Yeah, did it ground
I think
in?
carried, but yeah, he could have had his fingers underneath it. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, England's they had ideal conditions and did not use them as well as they should have. So that was a very bad day for England. But they came out yesterday morning and looked a different team with the ball in hand.
So Australia managed to get over 400 runs. Now, England have fought back really well. Duckett really ducked a lot of bounces from Mitch Starc. So he did well. Unfortunately, fell 2 runs short. That barrage of short pitch bowling, that got quite a lot of wickets in a hurry. What happened there? What do you think? Mitch Starc, first of all. Let's talk about Mitch Starc. You reckon good that they brought him back?
So Mitch Starc records this game over Scott Boland, who did get a bit of tonk at Edgbaston. And I've seen a fair few comments and analyses flying around over Stark's recent performances with the Red Bull specifically. Stark is in the squad to bowl first or second over with the new ball and to swing it around. And he hasn't really been doing that with the new ball. The Duke's ball that is used in England tends to only start swinging in the sort of 15th to 25th over around that point. By that point, he's off. He doesn't come back to bowl for a number of overs. So, yeah, he was going at 7 or 8 and over yesterday when he was bowling. He picked up, was it Joe Root he picked up? But yeah, with the short ball barrage. And that to me, when Cummins reverted to the short ball plan against England, he was a bit out of ideas. England obviously were shooting from the hip and going for everything. Yeah, why not have that plan B of just putting everyone back, bowling the short ones, and seeing if they can get themselves out? And in 8 overs of madness, they lost Pope, they lost Duckett, and they lost Root. If any of those 3 players are still there at the end of play, England are in a much stronger position.
Oh, yeah.
The comment I think it's been doing around is live by the sword, die by the sword, and that was very much the case yesterday evening. But Harry Brook, although he was dropped by Marnus, I think he just dropped on 20 maybe, absolute dolly. Harry Brook, once he put away the baseball style shots, looked very comfortable. And yeah, Stokes is going at a slow clip, but I imagine we'll see him coming out playing a bit more intent when play gets underway in a few hours.
Okay, let's talk about Nathan Lyon. He's out. I don't think he'll be coming back. Some are saying he might not even be back for the next test match. Like he must have torn his calf. I don't know if there's any update. Have you read anything?
I haven't seen any updates, but from what I understand, calf injuries like that are at least a few weeks off.
Oh, yeah.
With the tests packed so close together, it's more than likely we won't see him until the 5th test, if at all.
Yeah.
Which is devastating for Nathan Lyon. He's playing his 100th game in a row, which is the first time a bowler's done that in Test cricket.
Close to 500 wickets.
Yeah, I think he's on 496, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely devastating for him. And now Australia.
Spinner down.
They're a spinner down in this test. So
he's the GOAT.
They'll have to look to Travis Head to bowl. They've got Steve Smith, obviously learned his trade as a spinner. That's how he got into the team in the first place.
He can turn a ball, but he's so out of practice. Because I think a few years ago he said, I don't even practice anymore. His style was very similar to Shane Warne.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Australia have also got premier spinner and medium pacer Marnus Labuschagne in the team as well. If we think back 4 years, at the Oval Test in 2019, Tim Payne turned to Marnus as his spin option ahead of Nathan Lyon. That would have been, his 3rd game? Maybe 4th game? And I think there was a slight question of whether he could be an all-rounder. This sort of middle-order batter who can also spin it a bit.
Yeah, he's got 13 wickets at 56. There's 13 test wickets. That's still 13 more than you and I ever got.
Yeah, but Australia have got options in the team they've got on the field, but none of them, you'd say, very strong options. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the quicks, and I think Cameron Green's bowling will come into the game more. It's been slightly missing so far in the series, and when he has bowled, it doesn't tend to bowl very well. I think he only bowled like 1 or 2 overs in the whole World Test Championship final as
Yeah.
well. So there will be more onus on him to deliver with the ball. And then the question obviously becomes who gets called into the team to replace Nathan Lyon.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
who would your first pick be?
From the squad, or they're going to fly someone from home?
But they've got Todd Murphy in the squad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's
They,
the whole point of having it. But do you?
Mitch Swepson is currently playing in England. Obviously, he's
Yeah. Okay.
nearby.
Oh, okay.
And they had Matt Kuhneman in India. He would need to be flown over. But he did fairly well in India. He definitely took a 5 for in one of the games. Swepson definitely disappointed. He was the previous understudy to Nathan Lyon, and he's disappointed the few games he has played. 2 years ago, I want to say. Maybe it was Pakistan.
Who else? I don't think anyone else has played in the presence of Lyon, because Lyon has been, well, it was 100 consecutive test matches. And it's the same problem other spinners had when Warney was playing. Stuart McGill was a great leg spinner, but he didn't get a chance to play. But when are you going to get two spinners? Either you're playing in India or in Pakistan. That's the only time when you could have it. In the presence of Nathan Lyon, I don't know. For me, Swepson or good old Toddy, to be honest, I don't even know much about them. Like, I haven't even seen them. Yeah, I haven't seen them play. So I don't know. I think Swepson has played. I think how many test matches? Two test matches?
He's probably got 2 or 3, maybe even 5 tests under his belt.
Oh, he's got 4 test matches. Okay, so he's got 4 test matches, 10 wickets at 45. Still young, could be the next one. I don't know. So he's 29 years old. So
he had a very good Sheffield Shields 2 years ago, which is why I think he got the call up in the first place. I think he might have gone out with the squad to Sri Lanka last year and ended up not getting picked. Essentially, you got those 3. It's Murphy, Kuhneman, or Swepson.
Okay, so Crawley, your cousin Crawley, had a good start. How many did he get? 48? 45? Something
48,
like that?
yeah.
Okay, 48 he got. One of the strongest partnerships that England have had since 2013. Hard to say that someone makes only 48 runs and that is the best partnership that you could be a part of. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so England have really struggled to find a consistent pair of openers since Andrew Strauss retired back in 2011. His partnership with Cook was one of the all-time great opening partnerships. And after that, Cook went through this comically every few months. There seemed to be a new opener alongside Alistair Cook, and he just couldn't find anyone. This is why he was captain, of course, as well, who could do the job with him. And yeah, options kept rotating right through until after Cook retired. Rory Burns was in one of those positions for a while. He had others join him. Then he was dropped himself after the last Ashes. And yeah, Crawley and Duckett have played and opened in each of the games in the Stokes-McCullum era. I think they've both done well individually at times. They've not necessarily done well together. So yeah, the opening partnership, it must have been 70 or 80 or so when Crawley got stumped. A good bit of glove work by Carey down the leg side.
What do you think about the stump though? Like him on being 48?
Yeah, so I posited this to a couple of friends back home because it stuck out to me that, yeah, Crawley didn't necessarily need to go at that point, like dancing down the wicket to Lyon. And then I looked at the previous game and Carey had 3 stumpings. And before the World Test Championships, I think I'm right in saying that Carey hadn't completed a stumping. Every chance he had to make a stumping, he fluffed it in the 7 or 8 games he had after Tim Payne left the squad. So he'd never made a stumping. And I went back and looked at the scorecards from England versus Pakistan last year, and not one England batter got out stumped in any of those 3 games. But they were clearly using their feet, dancing down to the ball in those games, taking on the spin. So I'm wondering if England went into this series with a premeditated plan to attack Nathan Lyon down the crease, because there's a good chance if they miss it, Alex Carey is going to miss the stumping. But of course, if that was the plan, it's clearly backfired because he's now...
That's a very bad plan. I don't think at a test level you ever think that, if I miss it, the keeper is so shit anyway, so he's not going to stop me. I doubt that'd be the plan, but I think you're reading too much into it. I think he went for it. Like, most of the time they connect. As you said, they were so successful against Pakistan that not even a single stumping happened. So he probably went for it, but again, like, it's just, wow, sorry, bad luck. But yeah, it just happens. And people being on 48 or 96 or 90, 8, that doesn't stop them from playing this high risk shot, but high reward as well.
Yeah, and being on a certain score shouldn't stop the way you play your cricket. We'd already seen Crawley using his feet to get to the pitch of the ball, both in this innings and previous test matches. So it's like when people get into the 90s, you shouldn't really get stuck there. You should just keep a level head and keep doing what you're doing.
So, where are we headed now? England, what, 130 runs behind, 135 runs behind? So, we've got Ben Stokes, who's being very watchful, not getting sucked into this Bazball crap. Sorry, don't mean to say crap, but it has worked for England as well. But I just want a little bit more respect from the English side to say, hang on a second, the world doesn't necessarily run as you plan. Okay. So he's being watchful. Of course, at some point, they are going to play aggressive cricket. They're still scoring at a decent rate.
Scoring at 4.5.
4.5. Yeah. So it's still pretty decent. Don't get me wrong. It's still mini Bazball. But so did Australia. Australia played Ozball as well.
Australia scored very quickly.
Yeah. But you were thinking that, hang on, they might only get like 250 runs. And I was like, no, hang on, come on. That's way below their normal as well. But they ended up
I think England have performed better with the ball on Thursday, like Wednesday. Australia should have been out for less than 250 easy.
Okay, so what do you think is going to happen if England bats the next 2 sessions? They're going to surpass Australia's score probably by 50 runs or so. What do you think? Are we going to see another crazy declaration? What do you think?
So England have still got Johnny Bairstow in the sheds, and then they've got the long tail. So we're essentially down to our last 3 recognised batters now with Stokes and Brook at the crease. If England can just put another 150 on the boards and then let the tail wag, I think they'll be happy with that, considering the flurry of wickets they lost late yesterday evening. And then it's over to Australia to see what Australia do. And I have my suspicions that Australia, without Nathan Lyon able to bowl in the 4th innings, Australia will be a lot less confident, especially with England's prowess for chasing down big totals in 4th innings. So I suspect Australia will want to bat and bat long to take as much time out the game as before they declare. So I don't foresee any funky declarations from Ben Stokes this time around. There's still 3 days left in this test. The weather looks okay, maybe a tad cloudy. But yeah, I suspect Australia will want to be batting until late on day 4 before they
New
think.
ball's going to be available soon. So, 18 overs or something.
If England need to perform better with the ball than they did on day 1, I think that's going to be the big target, because they will get bowled out at some point today. Hopefully they don't just collapse in a pile. This England side don't tend to do that once they got some runs on the boards. Hopefully we'll see England go past Australia's total, if not get very close. And then we're down to a 1 innings game again. And yeah, who knows?
Okay, you heard it, guys. So this is going to be another exciting day of Test cricket. One thing that I'm happy about or excited to see is that Ben Stokes has obviously gone to plan B, which is let's just calm your horses. Okay, we still got to get some runs now. And I think that we're seeing a bit more cautious England side. And they're still 138 runs behind. 6 wickets can fall for a lot less than that too. That can happen too. But if they get close to the total, maybe get 20 runs over, 20 runs under, doesn't matter. That would be evenly poised Test match. So I think we've got another very good day of Test cricket ahead of us. We'll join you again tomorrow. Until next time, ta-ra.